So we should have a piece of paper on our desks with our first and last names on it, and then we're titling it 2.1 rational numbers. We're going to keep going with this concept of rational numbers. Okay, so I don't know if you know this about Miss Bateman, but I love the ocean. I love swimming in it. I love snorkeling in it. I love scuba diving in it. I love watching shows about the ocean. Like Finding Nemo, what a good movie, right? So I found this data and I thought I'm going to use it with my 7th graders so I can incorporate the ocean into what we're learning. So this next page, this data. So the table shows the elevations of 4 sea creatures. I love the ocean, but I'm also kind of scared of the ocean. All right, because there's stuff in it. All right, here we go. So relative to sea level, so we're going to pretend like we're scuba diving today, okay? And we see these 4 sea creatures, blah, blah. Which of the sea creatures are deeper than the whale? So let's pretend we're in our little, actually probably not scuba diving, we would be in like one of those deep sea devices, you know, it's like that bubble. Or the submarine, but like the little mini versions, right? So we're deep, deep down, and we got to decide who are we going to see first, and then when are we going to see the whale, and are we going to see anybody after the whale? So we're deep down. So this very first one is the anglerfish. Guys, raise your hand if you have seen Finding Nemo. Make a little hook. You know that crazy looking scary fish with the light? That's like an anglerfish, okay? So let's talk about that one first. So on your notes, write down this fraction, negative 13 tenths. What we're going to focus on today is going from a fraction to a decimal. Boys, you ready? Write it down on your notes, negative 13 tenths. So we're going to back it up with work. How do we change that to a decimal? So I have to say it out loud. That's negative 13 divided by 10. So 10's dividing into it. So 10 goes on the outside, 13 on the inside. Just don't forget that negative, right? Okay. Guys, with an appropriate figure, show me how many times 10 goes into 13. Let me see. Good job, Dane. Good job, Dane. All right, it goes in 1 time. So write it down once. 1 times 10, 10. Subtract it. We're left with 3. All right, 10 doesn't go into 3, so we need a decimal. And we need a 0. Drop down that 0. How many times, guys? You can shout out. How many times does 10 go into 30? 3 times. Show all of your work and finish it. Check. It's negative 1.3. Thank you, Skylar. So that is a negative 1.3. The anglerfish is at negative 1.3 compared to the whale at negative 0.8. We'll come back to that concept. Okay, do you have this on your notes? Because I'm going to erase the board and show the next one. So that's the AF. I'm going to put AF next to that, anglerfish. If you want to put that on your notes, that'd be fantastic. Anglerfish is at negative 1.3 below. It's negative because it's in the ocean. It's below sea level. Okay, next one we're going to talk about is the squid. So scary. They have beaks. Isn't it weird that a fish has a beak? Ugh. It's not weird to you. Yeah, they pull their squid and they crush it. Alright. Squid. Copy it down. The squid is at negative 2 1/5 below sea level. Let's change it to a decimal so we can compare it to the other ones.
Oh, can I see it?
Okay, don't forget that negative 2. Do you want to describe to me, Tyler, how to divide 1/5?
Yeah.
Okay, tell me.
You put the 5 on the outside and the 1 on the inside. And
5 on the outside, 1 on the inside.
Put
Keep
a
going.
decimal there. And
Decimal where?
Right to the right of the 1.
Decimal to the right of the 1.
And then decimal above the thing. Yeah.
Decimal above the thing. Keep going.
Put a 0.
Put a 0 where?
Right there.
Right here?
Right of the decimal.
Right of the decimal. Okay.
And then 5 divided by 1 can go into it, so 0.
Okay, 5 can't go into 1, so that's a 0. Okay.
And then go, that's the decimal, 5, and make it 5 divided by 10 is 2.2. And then
All right.
the answer is negative 2.2.
Okay, so he said it can go in twice. 2 times 5 is 10. Show all of your work. So he's saying final answer is 0.2. No? I heard a no. Vivi, help us.
No, I said 2.2.
Negative 2.2? Whoa, Squid Boy. He is deep in that ocean, right? Negative 2.2? Guys, you're doing so great. Okay, last one is the shark. Okay, are we ready? So the shark. Oh, I need the pen. So tap on the pen. Shark is at negative 211. So I have to say it out loud. Negative 2 divided by 11. So 2 goes on the inside because it's getting divided. I'm going to write up here. 2 on the inside. 11 on the outside. Guys, does 11 go into 2?
Yeah.
No, so we need a decimal and a 0. Does 11 go into 20?
Yeah.
How many times? Once. So subtract that 11. Thank you so much for staying with me. This is fun. All right, 20 minus 11 is 9. Shoot, 11 doesn't go into 9 either. Let's add a 0, drop down a 0.
90.
Yep,
That's
it's
in 8
90.
times.
So it goes in 8 times.
88.
88. Let me change up the colors.
20.
Uh-oh. I noticed something. A 2 again?
1 8 with the bar above it.
You think? Let's make sure. Tyler thinks there's going to be 1 8 with a bar above it. Bring down a 0. 11 goes into 20 once. Subtract that 11. Yeah, because we get another 9. Don't you think? We'll keep going. 90, 20, 90, 20, 90, 20. So the decimal on this one looks like Shark Boy is, let's see, 0.18. The 1 and the 8 repeat. It goes 1 8, 1 8, 1 8, 1 8, 1
Sharky
8.
ain't that far down.
It's negative because he's still swimming. Good thing, right? He's still in the ocean. So negative 0.18. Okay. So today's lesson is all about putting them in order. So let's go back. Let's pretend we're in that bubble machine, that little personal summary. We've gone all the way. We see who first. We're at the very bottom. Who's at the deepest part of the ocean that we've gone to? The squid. Gross. All right, so it goes squid. Then who?
Anglerfish.
Anglerfish is next. So we see the squid. Yikes. Then we see the anglerfish. Then who do we see?
No, shark.
Who is it? Is it the whale or the shark? Look at the whale. The whale's at 0.8. The 8 is first. The shark is at 0.1 first. Who's deeper? The whale is deeper. And then we see Sharky. Dangerous for us, so the sharks swim so close to the surface, right? Okay, now, guys, eyes on the board. On today's lesson, it doesn't have these awesome sea creatures for you. It asks you to put the numbers back in order. So just think of diving in the ocean. So the squid, originally it was -2 1/5. You still with us, Bridger Harrison? So first would be -2 1/5 if we're going least to greatest. And then would be the anglerfish, -13/10. That would go next. And then would be the whale, which was -0.8. And then would be our sharky, right? -2 11. Okay, you're starting at the deepest on the least to the greatest. You start way low on the negatives and you gradually go up to the surface, okay? Today we are going to go above the surface, so it's like the fish are jumping out of the water, okay? All right, this next problem, I want you to copy it down first and then we'll do it together. What are we doing first, guys? Copy, and then we'll do it together. Ready, set, go. Copy it down, please. Okay, the directions say order the numbers from least to greatest. So it's like we're starting with the fish that's at the bottom of the ocean and then we're going up. Okay, so here we go. So I look at that and I always jump to the negatives. Do you agree with me? Negatives are going to be the lowest numbers, right? Okay, but then we've got some fractions in there to deal with. So we've got to deal with -7/4, a half, and -1/10. Okay, today, again, we're practicing going from fractions to decimals. So let's do that -7/4 together and change it to a decimal. So -7/4, I love how in the warm-up you guys were writing that means -7 divided by 4. So that means 4 on the outside, 7 on the inside. We'll just remember the negative right in the end. Okay, stay with me, stay with me. All right, so 4 goes into 7 one time. Do you agree with me?
Yes.
All right, so one time. 1 times 4 is 4. Subtract it, we get that 3. But now we're in trouble.
That's 0.
Put in the 0. Don't forget your decimal. Drop down that 0. 4 goes into 30.
7 times.
7 times. So 7 and 4, 28. Don't forget to subtract it.
2.
We're left with a 2. Oh man, we need another 0. Drop it down. Joel, what did you just say?
5.
Yeah, good job. Goes in 5 times. Subtract it. There we go. We've got our decimal. 1.75. Does anybody have a comment on this one? Joel, what is it? Thank you, Joel. Okay, guys, look at the board. This is how I keep track of my stuff. On your assignment, it'll already be written for you. So I just write it above. Brandon, you still with us? So I put right here. This is really -1.75. It's a clue to order. If you put it below, that's totally fine. Okay, you with us? We good? Okay. All right, that half. I'm really hoping you guys are being nice to yourself and you're realizing certain stuff in math. A half. Does anybody have that memorized? What is the decimal for a half? I need a hand in the air. What is the decimal? A half is really, Janess, what is it? It's 0.5. So be nice to yourself. Start memorizing someone. So that one, let's just write it above or below. That's 0.5. Negative 1/10, maybe this is another one you have memorized. Maybe not. If you don't have it memorized, let's show our work real quick. Are you ready? So negative 1/10, that just means negative 1 divided by 10. So let's see, negative 1 is getting divided by 10. So 10's on the outside, 1's on the inside. Guys, don't let me forget that it's a negative. Okay, how many times does 10 go into 1?
One time.
It doesn't, right? 0. So we need a decimal. Then we can add a 0 down here. How many times does 10 go into 10? 1. Show your work, finish it for me. So this decimal is 0.1, right?
Negative.
Negative, thanks Brooke. Negative 0.1. Okay, now it's to the fish, right? We've got to think which one is deepest in the ocean because we're going least to greatest. Okay, I'm going to pause the recording because I want you to stop and think which one is the lowest fishy in the ocean. Okay, ready? Stop and think about it. We've got some think time in there. Recording started again. I need a hand in there. Who is the deepest fishy? Joel, what do you think? Negative 1.3? This one? Right here? Maybe. Because we've got that negative, right? And we have this negative, negative 1/10. And we have this negative, negative 1.75. Joel, what are you thinking? This one right here, negative 1.3. Check it, Joel. This first number right here, they both have a negative 1. Do you agree with me? But then this next number is a 7, and this next number is a 3. If we're thinking deeper in the ocean, which one, Joel? Oh, you're okay. So this negative 7/4 is going to be first, right? Guys, how many agree with that one? Negative 7/4. Okay, will you watch the board, though? Watch the board, watch the board. Instead of writing negative 1.75, that's our clue. That's what we use to figure it out. You write the original. So the original, the first one is negative 7/4. Okay, and then I always put a check by it so I know I took care of that one. Okay, so now Joel has narrowed it to 2 negatives. It's either got to be this or this one. Which one do you think it is? Which one would be deeper in the ocean? Amanda, what are you thinking?
Negative 1.3.
Negative 1.3, can you back it up? How come?
Because
It's a negative.
lower than
Nice, she said it's a negative and it's lower than the other one. So last would have to be our last negative, right? Well, let's write it as negative 1/10. Okay, so check, we've got our negatives. Okay, now the fish is jumping out of the water. So it hits 0, the surface is 0, and now it starts jumping out of the water. Which one comes first? Sammy, which one? We've got 1.1 and we've got 0.5. 0.5, good job, Sammy. And then last one has to be 1.1. Okay, I need hands in there. How many of you beat us to that? How many of you got that before we down the board? Let me see. Fantastic, that's what I was hoping for. Okay, let's go to number 2. Copy it down, and then let's talk. Go. Okay, since we're recording the lesson, rather than have you come to the board, I'm going to call on you and you're going to explain to me exactly what to do. Can you handle that? So I look at this, and I'm kind of excited. There's only 2 fractions we have to change. The rest are already decimals. Fantastic. So can I get a hand in the air? Can you walk me through that negative 1/4? Bridger, will you walk me through it?
Well, I just had it memorized.
You have it memorized. What is it? 0.25. It's like 1/4 out of 4 quarters, right? 4 quarters is a whole dollar. One of them is 25, but there's something missing. There's something missing. What are we missing? D, what are we missing? The negative. Did you get that, Bridger and Harrison?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay, so there's 1/4, 25 cents out of 4 quarters. Thank you, Bridger. That's fantastic. All right, will anybody help us with this 3/4? Okay, Maddie, will you help us with this one? What are you going to do?
I have it memorized.
You have that one memorized? Awesome.
3/4 of a dollar is 75 cents. So it'd be
She said 3/4 of a dollar is 75 cents, like that.
yeah.
Love that you have it memorized. You can be so nice to yourself on these ones, right? Okay, so here we go. We've got to go least to greatest. Now check it. There are 3 negatives in here. You got to think which one is farthest away from the surface of the ocean. Brooke, which one do you think?
1.7.
Nice. Nice, Brooke. She said negative 1.7. Absolutely. Okay, Brooke, call us for the next one. What comes next? Okay, she's saying the negative 0.25. Sammy, watch. See how this one has a 2 right after the decimal? And then see how this one has a 3 right after the decimal? If we're thinking negatives and we're thinking far away from 0, which one is farthest away from 0? The 3 is, right? So next would be that negative 0.3. And then, Sammy, we can put your negative 1/4. Okay, class, shout it out. What number is next? 3/4 is totally next. Good job. And then what's the last one? What are we missing? There you go. Good job. Okay, keep this paper out. No, right now there's not tons of room in your workbook to show your work. So you can keep showing your work on this paper. Open your books to page 32. Look at the should match your work. These are the problems for your assignment.